because history teaches us that Jesus was born in a region where the people had color. There's proof in the very Bible that you ask us to read in Revelation's 1st chapter, verse 14 and 15, that Jesus had hair like wool and feet the color of grass.
Just what are you saying?
I'm not saying anything. I'm proving to you that Jesus was not, and I might quote one of our Indian brothers, he was not a paleface.
So not only did God make a man in his image, so God has to look like something, and we just gave you that from the previous verses. Woolly hair and dark skin. So this destroys all the arguments people make about, well, Christ was born in the Middle East, so of course he was a man of color. No, he's not a damn man of color. He's a black man. He's not a man of color. An East Indian man is a man of color. The Filipinos are men of color. Arabs in the south of Saudi Arabia are men of color. None of these men of any of these races have woolly hair. All right.
I am the punishment of God. And if you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you.
Shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome to another episode of Crushing Christian Views. Tonight we're going to be a little sporadic with the teaching. We just want to cover a few things. So recently I saw a video of a very famous Jewish comedian, a female comedian, and in the video she said, everyone says that, and I'm paraphrasing, she says everyone says that the Jews killed Jesus or had Jesus set up or what have you. She said, I think it was the blacks.
You know, they felt, everybody blames the Jews for killing Christ, and then the Jews try to pass it off on the Romans. I'm one of the few people that believes it was the blacks. I don't care. Good. I hope the Jews did kill Christ. I'd do it again. I'd do it again in a second. If I hear his Birkenstocks clacking this way.
So we want to say to this famous Jewish female comedian that she's absolutely correct. It was the blacks, but the blacks are the Jews. See how that works? She says it as if the Jews are separate from black people, but the real Jews are blacks according to this book, 1611 King James Bible. The Jews are black, and we're gonna go into that once again and prove some of that tonight. And we're gonna start in the book of Daniel chapter 7. We're gonna have our brother and good friend D read that for us.
All right. This is Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down.
Now watch this, D. Now I have to explain to you all that the thrones that Daniel saw being cast down was the end of the days with the powers on earth. The fourth heaven that I talked about in the last video. The powers, the heavens on earth that are being cast down for the return of Christ. Go ahead.
And the Ancient of Days did sit.
The Ancient of Days. Who is that, folks? The Ancient of Days. This is someone who existed before days existed. That would be the Most High God. Go ahead.
Whose garment was white as snow.
He's wearing a garment, so he's not some spooky, invisible, floating around in the air type of thing like Christians think he is. He has on a white garment. Go ahead, D.
And the hair of his head like the pure wool.
The hair of his head, like the hair on my head, and like the hair on the men's head in this room, is woolly. Read that part again.
And the hair of his head like the pure wool.
The Most High God has woolly hair. So if the Most High God has woolly hair, then it makes sense that his son, the one we call Jesus the Christ, also has woolly hair. So we're going to go to Revelation chapter 1 and read that for you as well. See, brothers and sisters, we get it. Stockholm Syndrome is very powerful. And You have no idea that the things that are coming on the earth now, the horrific earthquakes in diverse places where earthquakes have never been, the wars that are going on, the rumors of wars, this is because God's people are waking up. We're God's people. Okay, let's read Revelation 1, verse 1.
All right. This is Revelation chapter 1, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must surely come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John.
So John is writing about the revealing of Jesus Christ. What does Jesus look like? We're going to read that from starting at verse. Let's start at 13. People usually start at 14. We'll start at 13.
All right. It's Revelation chapter 1, verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a girding girdle.
Now, notice it said in the midst of the 7 candlesticks. Well, that's what this is in front of you right here. These are the 7 candlesticks, the menorah, which belongs to our people. Go ahead, D.
Verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Stop right there. His head and his hairs were white like wool. Now, is wool a color or is it a texture? We just read to you from Daniel 7 and 9 that the Ancient of Days, God, the Most High God, has woolly hair. So Jesus obviously has woolly hair. Go ahead, D.
As white as snow.
So his hair is woolly and the color is white. Go ahead.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
His eyes are as a flame of fire because in the prophecy in Genesis, chapter 49, verse, I believe it's 12, it says that his eyes will be red with wine. That's why his eyes are a flaming fire. Because in Genesis it says that Christ's eyes will be red with wine. Go ahead.
Verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
What color is brass, brothers and sisters? Brass would be this color, brown. Go ahead.
As if they burned in a furnace.
Uh-oh, so that makes him dark skinned. If you take brown and burn it, it becomes black. That's all we got on that?
And his voice as the sound of many waters.
He has a powerful voice, and we also have that in other scriptures. We can show you that as well. Let's go to Daniel 10. We're going to stay on the black stuff tonight because some of you just don't get it. You look at the scriptures and you don't know what you're reading because you've heard your pastor tell the same lies for the last 47 years. Daniel 10, verse 5 and 6.
All right. This is Daniel chapter 10, verse 5. Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6. His body also was like the beryl.
Okay, his body was also like the beryl. It's talking about the outfit that Christ is wearing, because this is Christ. The outfit he's wearing is like the beryl because beryls come in the ancient stone beryl comes in several colors. What are those colors? Emerald green, a goldish color. There's another color that comes in. But this is talking about the outfit that Christ is wearing. Go ahead.
And his face as the appearance of lightning.
His face has the appearance of lightning, just like when Moses came down out of the mountain, he had to put a veil over his face to not scare the Israelites in the camp because he had a glow about himself. Go ahead.
And his eyes as lamps of fire.
Up there it is again. It's talking about his eyes, which are red with wine. Go ahead.
And his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass.
His arm and his feet like in color to polished brass. What else we got on that?
And the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude.
Saying the same thing Revelation 1 verses 14 and 15 says about Christ. Let's go to Lamentations 4. We're going to keep going for you folks. We're going to show you that the Bible is blackety black, black, blackety black, black. That the people of the Bible, God's people, are black and brown people. That would be today's blacks and Latinos. Go ahead. Start at verse 8.
All right, this is Lamentations chapter 4, verse 8. Their visage is blacker than a coal.
Visage, if you want to run to Google right now and pull up the word visage, is talking about your face. Start that again, D.
This is the book of Lamentations chapter 4, verse 8. Their visage is blacker than a coal.
The Israelites' visage is blacker than a coal. Talking about their face. Go ahead.
They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered, it is become like a stick.
No, when Christians hear this about the skin is withered to his bones, they try to make that as if it's talking about they're in mourning, they're sad. That's why their faces are blacker than a coal. Well, what color is a coal? A coal is black. All right, let's go to
A coal is very black.
very black. Let's go to Job 30. We're going to go to Job 30. We're going to keep this going, brothers and sisters. We're going to keep proving that the men of the Bible are black men, which includes God and Christ. Job 30, start at 29.
This is Job chapter 30, verse 29. I am a brother to dragons.
Okay, so Job says he's a brother to dragons. We know that in Revelations 12, it says that the dragon is red. But watch what Job says.
And a companion to owls. Verse 30. My skin is black upon me.
Now, why did Job have to say that? Because in the previous verse, he says he's a brother to dragons. He's a brother to dragons. The dragon is red. So when Esau was born in Genesis 25, it said that Esau was red and he was a brother to Jacob. Well, Job is a relative to Jacob, which is also black. So we're in Ezekiel chapter 1 and we're going to read, let's start at verse 5. I'm going to read from 5 to 7.
This is Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 5. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures.
The angels.
And this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man.
So the angels have the appearance of the likeness of a man.
Verse 6. And everyone had 4 faces. And everyone had 4 wings. Verse 7. And their feet were straight feet. And the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot. And they sparkled like the color of burnished brass.
They sparkled like the color of burnished brass. Who else is described like that in the Bible? Jesus. He's described as burnished brass, his skin. Same thing with the angels. The angels are black. So here in Genesis chapter 1, we're going to read verse 26 and give you all a better understanding, once again, of what the men of God look like.
This is the book of Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image.
So stop right there. So if God is saying, listen closely, you Christians, if God is saying, let us make man in our image, if I took a mirror and put it in front of you, will you see an image of yourself? I hear a lot of people talking about, yeah, we were made in God's image. Who are we? Because I don't look like a Chinese man or Arabic man or East Indian man. So which image was made of God? Go ahead, read that thing.
I'll start back over.
Yeah.
This is Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
You hear that, brothers and sisters? So not only did God make a man in his image, so God has to look like something. And we just gave you that from the previous verses. Woolly hair and dark skin. So this destroys all the arguments people make about, well, Christ was born in the Middle East, so of course he was a man of color. No, he's not a damn man of color. He's a black man. He's not a man of color. An East Indian man is a man of color. The Filipinos are men of color. Arabs in the south of Saudi Arabia are men of color. None of these men of any of these races have woolly hair. All right, let's go to Genesis 2. And let's start at...
What you gotta say to that, black Latino Christians?
Yeah, what do you got to say to that? Because I just spelled it out for you, okay? It's amazing how black people, you get mad if you're called colored people, but you like using the term people of color. What's the difference?
He is of color.
Anyway, Genesis chapter 2, verse 6.
This is book of Genesis chapter 2, verse 6. But there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground.
So, brothers and sisters, if you go outside your apartment or your home or your condo right now, and you look at the ground, you'll see that it's brown. When you put water on it, it gets darker. And then as you dig into the ground, the soil goes from brown to black. That's how we got blacks and Latinos, because God made man from the ground. Read that again, D.
This is book of Genesis chapter 2, verse 6. But there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. Verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
And the Lord God formed man from the dust of the ground, the dirt, which is brown and black. Go ahead, D.
And breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul.
There it is, brothers and sisters. I'm trying to think. There's so many other scriptures out there we can pull up. I don't know how much evidence do you need? I don't get it. It's like a detective. He's looking for a murderer, right? And he's come across all this incredible evidence, and he's still sitting there like, well, I don't know who it could be, and he's got all the evidence right there in front of him. Well, go ahead.
So you gotta show him the scripture where it says, and also Esau.
And also Esau is what?
Esau, period.
You know what? And I think we should do the next video. I think we should do a great in-depth video on Esau, because some of you still don't get it. In fact, I see on YouTube, black people still arguing, trying to figure out, is Esau an Arab? Is he this and that? No, Esau is not an Arab. Arabs don't run the world. Arabs get their marching orders from the white man. They don't run the earth. They might have power over black people. They don't have power over white people. Let's see, what else? What are we gonna do here? There was something I wanted to touch on before we close out. Oh, you know what? Let's go to Exodus. Oh no, even better. There's some words that Christians love to use. They love to use the words righteous, truth, love, perfect. They always say nobody can be perfect, right? Now, we've taught on this before in other videos, but we're going to show y'all again tonight what the word perfect means and how you can achieve perfection. Jesus achieved perfection. Job achieved perfection. Abraham achieved perfection. How did they do that? I'm going to show you guys right now. I'm going to show you what the Bible says about the word. We'll start with the word perfect first. Let's go to Psalms 19. We'll go to Psalms 19. We're going to show you guys what the word perfect actually means. And once you learn what it means, then you'll understand that you too can be perfect according to the Lord. Now, we know a lot of you sisters out there, to you, perfect means a guy that's well endowed and got millions of dollars and he's 6'6". We know that's perfect to you, but we're going to show you what the Lord says perfect is. Psalm 19, verse 7.
All right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect.
Oh, you hear that? The law of the Lord is perfect. That's how you become perfect, by keeping the laws. Go ahead.
Converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple.
Making wise the simple. So at one point, all of us in this room, we were simple because we didn't understand the scriptures. Now we're wise. What was the next word on Christians love to use? Oh, love. Love, love, love. Christians love, 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 love. Love, love, love. That's all y'all talk about. Love, love, love. Okay, let's see what love means. Give me 1 second here.
Why is Shake always preaching hatred? What about love?
We're going to show y'all what love means. Watch this.
I was actually told that before.
Really?
Yeah. I ain't gonna say who.
All right.
Somebody
Right.
actually told me that. All y'all talk about is hatred. What about love? Jesus was about love.
Right.
Shake only talks about hating and people not going to heaven.
Oh my God. Well, we got to talk about the truth. There's more people are going to die than people that go to the kingdom. We already know that. It says that the gate into the kingdom is narrow. It's not wide, it's narrow, because more people are going to die than people that go to the kingdom. Now we're going to show y'all what love is. Give me...
I promise you, Black and Latino Christians, Esau's private area is not better than salvation from the Lord.
And this is correct. I mean, come on. I mean, his money ain't better than salvation. None of it. His gold actually belongs to us, but we'll get into that on another video.
Y'all can get off of his private area. My God, aren't y'all tired of it?
It's amazing that
You know, it's I don't know who says this saying, but this guy, he was like, when you're dealing with N-words, the white man's ice is always cold.
Yeah.
Black and Latino Christians prove it every day.
every day. It's amazing, bro. Let's go to 1 John chapter 5. We're gonna start at verse 3. 1 John chapter 5.
This is 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
The love of God is keeping his commandments. What are his commandments? His laws. Go ahead.
And his commandments are not grievous.
And his commandments are not hard to do. It's not hard to stop eating pork. It's not hard to stop eating shrimp. It's not hard to do that. I mean, people act like, oh, I'm gonna die if I don't get a ham sandwich. Okay, now we're gonna show you another word that Christians love to use. Righteous. Let's look at the word righteous. You all are gonna learn that all these words mean God's commandments and his laws. All these words. Let's go to righteous. Let's see.
We haven't had any pork or any animals in the sea without fins or scales in over 2 years.
Right. Let's try Romans chapter 3.
During COVID, you Black and Latino Christians bought up so much crab legs, it was crazy.
Yeah, man.
Instead of putting money aside, you bought crab legs.
What's the next I don't know what the next pagan holiday is that's coming up.
4th of July.
Oh, did they have the fireworks tonight?
Yep.
Oh man, that's gonna be pretty crazy down there. It's going on right now.
Yeah, they closed off a lot of stuff. Now that holiday, they just celebrated the Juneteenth.
Right.
Oh, did you hear about the Israelite, the young Israelite who killed them 2 Israelite women in Rockford, Texas, or something?
At a Juneteenth celebration.
Yep. 17.
You know what? They had a lot of shootings at all the Juneteenth celebrations. That's how you know Juneteenth is wickedness.
Exactly.
We're not supposed to be celebrating that fake. Juneteenth is bull crap. Okay, folks. I'm trying not to cuss. That's why I keep catching myself.
You are still in captivity.
Yeah.
Y'all still act like you're on the plantation.
Yep.
We're just not physically on the plantation, but then with chains and stuff. But we ain't free out of America.
No, we ain't free.
Psalms 106. We're going to read about, it's so many verses about righteousness, but we're just going to give you one verse so you can understand, because it deals directly with God's laws and his commandments. Psalms 106.
They're going to find an excuse and be like, you're twisting it, and never say how.
Oh my God, it's an amazing one. That's just like if I read on a piece of paper, the sky is blue. They're going to say I'm twisting that.
If it come from Shake, oh, y'all listen to Shake. What about your own opinions?
Our own opinion? Y'all own opinions? Yeah, listen, brothers and sisters, we don't deal with opinions. We deal with what God says. Psalms 106 and verse 3.
This is Psalms chapter 106, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Blessed are they that keep judgment, and he that doeth righteousness at all times.
He that doeth righteousness at all times, keep judgment. What are the judgments? The judgments is judging on the laws, statutes, and commandments of God. This is what we teaching our people. Let's try, let me see. Let's go with, what was the other word they like to use? Truth. Let's go with truth. Here we go, Psalms 119. So many verses come up, brothers and sisters, when you put a word in like truth or perfect or righteousness or love. Lots of verses come up. So we're going to go with Psalms 119 and verse 142.
All right, this is Psalms chapter 119, verse 142.
Mm-hmm.
Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth.
And thy law is the truth. So when people say, you don't know the truth, yeah, the truth is God's law. That's what the truth is. Brothers and sisters, I don't know what else we can do for you all to get you to understand. And I'm not even talking about the brothers and sisters, because you understand. I'm actually talking about the Black and Latino Christians. They don't understand.
God is every color. You ain't no damn prophet.
Okay, let's go to, because we got to remind you every time. Let's go to, oh my God, we go to that verse so much, I forgot where it is. Romans, I'm sorry, 1 Corinthians 14. 1 Corinthians 14. Brothers and sisters, understand what a prophet is before you start cussing us out. Okay? 1 Corinthians 14 and verse 37.
Oh, they said you was Satan on the comments.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, one short, he said, you Satan in the flesh.
I'm Satan in the flesh.
I said, wow.
I did. When I saw that, I said, wow, I'm Satan? Me? I'm Satan? I'm reading the Bible.
Now you're the white man.
Now I'm the white man. I'm Herod of the Roman Empire. I'm Joe Biden of America.
Right.
Yeah, read that, D.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 37.
Mm-hmm.
If any man think himself to be a prophet or spiritual, let him acknowledge that the things that are right unto you are the commandments of the Lord.
So we acknowledge that the things that Paul write unto us are the commandments of the Lord. And that's what we were just talking about, the laws and the commandments. So if we understand that's what Paul wrote to us about, Jesus talked about it, Isaiah, Jeremiah, all the prophets talked about God's commandments and God's laws. That's what you damn Christians don't understand. The real reason Christ died is so that we could keep the laws more perfectly. That's why Christ died.
And that's what makes you a prophet.
And that's what makes you a prophet.
Somebody anonymous was arguing with me and said it's impossible to keep all those commandments
because it's over 600.
So in America, the white man has over 600,000 laws, and you got to keep them or you're going to jail. So compare 600,000 laws to 600 laws by the Most High God. I'd rather keep God's. I got to keep the white man's laws too, because I don't want to go to prison. But I also have to keep God's laws, which absolutely does not interfere with the white man's laws.
And you Christians do understand, don't every law pertain to you.
D just brought up a good point. Oh my God. So if there's a law that talks about how to farm, how the Israelites should farm, I'm not a farmer. D's not a farmer. C's not a farmer. So that law doesn't pertain to me. If there's a law that tells a woman that she shouldn't dress like a man, that law is for a woman. It doesn't pertain to men. So you're not actually keeping all 613 laws. Some of the laws are for Israelites that do certain things. I'm not a farmer, so I don't keep the farming law. I'm glad you brought that up.
Then somebody else anonymously told Corey that he shouldn't be listening to you, and he should get his own relationship with God and form his own opinion.
So Corey has a relationship with God. It's keeping the commandments. That's what it is. That's our relationship with God.
For some reason, they think that you wrote the Bible and that you making all this stuff up out your head, and that the Bible don't say nothing that we read.
If I wrote the Bible, folks, I'd have $12 zillion right now in the bank. 12 zillion.
Yeah.
If I wrote the Bible.
But the most popular book ever to be written.
And then I would have to be about 430 years old to have wrote this book. Even though the words of God go back to the beginning of time, we're talking about the 1611 Bible. I would have to be 400 some years old, right? I'm not that old, folks. What else we got, y'all?
And just again, like how this whole video is about Jesus being black,
Yeah,
and everything.
yeah.
The same person, I actually asked him, I was like, how are you upset that Jesus is a black man and you're a black man yourself?
Yeah. How does that work?
That's a mental illness.
Listen. Oh, by the way, there's a brother on YouTube. His name is Hope Bryan or something like that. He's some type of highly educated, super rich black man, right? He said, and I believe this, y'all can tell me if y'all agree with this. He said 70, this is a large number. He said 70% of black people in America are clinically depressed.
I would think it would be more.
So I asked a friend of mine who reads a lot of books and stuff. He said, yeah, Sheikh, I believe that. I used to say 50%, and I thought that was too high. He said 70%.
I would say about 80%.
Yeah.
Because you gotta think, majority of the black people that's depressed is the women.
Yeah.
That's why they drink so much, they do all this stuff.
They do craziness and dress nakedly every day and
then get upset when you tell them they should put a dress on. Now they say you're judging them.
Well, we guys like us that teach all the camps, all the Israelite camps, all the Israelite brothers, and the Israelite sisters, we are supposed to judge you. The sisters who are Israelites and know who the Most High God is, she's supposed to be judging the hell out of you women. She's supposed to.
Right. But they'll try to gaslight her and be like, oh, the Bible say don't judge. And you doing what the Bible say not to do. Just pure lame gaslighting tactics that they've been doing forever.
I'm so glad you brought that up, D.
Just to justify their wickedness.
We about to show y'all that the Bible calls for the men of God and the women of God to judge you. We're going to show you that. Here we go. I'm glad you brought that up. Give me 1 second.
He said, Corey, I'm gonna pray for you.
Which is super condescending. You know, Christians always say that to be condescending.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'll pray for you.
No, I don't want you praying for me.
I don't want
with your Caucasian Jesus.
Right. I don't want blessings from your white God.
Your white God is the one that enslaved us in 1619.
I told him, I'm like, if you're trying to pray to the God of Israel, he don't hear your prayers anyway.
He don't hear your prayers.
In egregious sin.
Yeah,
exactly. Your white God is in the White House.
Right. Watch this. I'll read this. Daniel chapter 7, verse 22. Until the Ancient of Days came, that will be God, the Most High God, until the Ancient of Days came and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. So when Christ come back, God's going to give us the power of judgment. It says to the saints. We're the saints.
Just like on them canisters, those are saints.
These are saints. All these black men you see, on here, and the sisters who are also in the truth with us, they're the saints as well. Let's see.
Come on home, black and Latino women.
It's time to come home. It's time to take your G-string off and put a dress on. Now, if you're wearing a G-string under your dress,
That's for your husband.
it is what it is.
That's
It's for your husband. It is what it is.
Take off the eyelashes, the weave,
Take it all off.
the Wolverine claws.
The Wolverine claws. You know what I noticed? All my sisters wear their natural hair.
Yeah,
All of them.
that's actually becoming popular again.
Is it?
Yeah.
All my sisters wear their natural hair. And my sister in New York, her and her two daughters have never had their hair weaved or anything.
Yeah.
They got their woolly hair is out here, bro. It's out here. Their hair is it's long. They got long
All
hair.
in jet black, beautiful.
Oh man, they got long, beautiful hair.
The way your God intended it to be.
The way Most High God intended it to be. And sisters, look, we just want y'all. And if your hair is, if you sisters take your weave off and your hair is really short, that's okay. You can put on a head covering. Men don't have a problem with that. You can but all that long, stringy white woman hair stuff,
Yeah,
y'all don't want us to date white women, but you got hair like them.
trying to look like them.
I don't understand that.
They trying to look like you.
That's the irony.
Yeah, y'all are going back and forth. You're all nuts, all right? So just get natural. We like natural beauty. You know what a sister told me recently? She said, men lie. They don't like natural beauty. I said, that's because you be around effeminate men.
Exactly.
Real men like natural beauty. Effeminate men don't.
No, that's the man she attracted.
And that's the men she's attracted.
I like women with natural hair and women who wear braids.
I like
them.
naturally born women.
One of my sisters, she's got locks. Man, her locks are so long and nice.
There's nothing wrong with locks. I like locks too.
Yeah, long locks. I like braids. And again, sisters, if your hair is short, so what? I'm saying if you don't like the appearance of short hair, put a cover on. Or I just found out this woman who's got a really popular podcast or whatever. Her name is Lisa Cabrera. In the beginning of her videos, she shows these natural hair products. So there's natural hair products out there. In fact, I'm gonna get some of the natural hair products as well. So on that, what else we got? All right. So we want to say like, comment, and subscribe. And we want to say we also have a Cash App.
Donate if you like.
Donate if you like. And with that, we want to say shalom, and we'll see you again, God willing.
I am the punishment of God. And if you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you.